I'm going to talk about settings and options in SceneDesigner and how they're saved out. If you click the Options toolbar button, this will bring up the Options dialog box. In this box, there's a bunch of categories, and each category has several settings in there. These comprise things from how long the autosave, how many minutes should go between autosaving, to the color of the grid lines, to the palette directory, to the application that you want to launch externally when F5 is pressed. Any settings or options that are modified in here are either saved out per scene or per user or globally. The plugins in SceneDesigners themselves determine how and where these settings get saved out. Many of these options also correspond with toolbar buttons as well. So if we want to come in here and say rotation snap, I want to turn that off because it was on before. I can come in here and then look at rotation snap is now false. And if I set that to be true, this button gets depressed. So many of these options, correspond with things in the scene. There are also options for the tool itself, such as undo settings, whether or not selection commands are undoable or view commands are undoable. By default, selection commands are undoable, but view commands are not. You can also go in here and change the distances for each of the orbits and pan and various other settings. As you select each option, there is a description that appears in the bottom right, and this description will tell you what that option is about, and in some cases whether or not it's saved per scene or per user. That's pretty much it for the options and settings in the tool. Those settings are saved on disk in either a user directory, in your Documents and Settings user directory, application data, or it's saved out in a separate file along with each scene that you save out called .scene. So in this case it would be ruins01.gsa, and then it would append .scene.settings, and that contains all of the settings that are specified there, as well as other information about this particular instance, such as the viewport configuration that was present for that particular scene.